Hello, good people. It's Friday in the Music Den, and I'm going to try something a little different. And by little different, I mean no post production. And when I say no post production, I mean no titles, no graphics, no sound effects, no audience, just me and this camera and this guitar. But it's Friday, and I like to say hello and hope everybody's going to have a good weekend. We're getting into the colder weather for sure. Before you know it, Thanksgiving will be here. And then the holidays, man, and my birthday's coming up in December, and that kind of, I don't like to think about that too much. And then New Year, and wow, like time just flies. Oh my gosh, my gosh. Thank everybody for listening to Francis Fell. That really does mean the world to me. Testimony, the track off of the most recent EP, that's getting the most sort of feedback and action and streams, is a surprise to me. Although these three are very strange, or I don't want to call them strange. They're eclectic. I said that once before. I'll say it again. No, it's a weird mix. I think Bury Me is very much a traditional kind of thing. With the slide guitar, and that's fun. And the other two are very, somebody told me it was hippie music for hillbillies, and I thought that was sort of racist. No, I don't know. So anyway, see now, normally there'd be a laugh track in that to remind you that I made a funny. But this nylon string died 2 summers ago. Or, am I going to ignore that and blow the whole take? It exploded, and Jule, my sweetheart, said, "Fix it." And I thought, "Oh, there's no way I'm going to fix it, right?" I mean, this whole piece blew off. But thanks to you two, oh boy, I'm ignoring somebody, and now they're part of this video. Who might it be? Ah, it's the beautiful Jule. Oh, wow. Kitties are so sweet and sensitive. Ba-bum. I can barely see without my glasses. This is all being videoed, and I'm never going to use it. So I think my idea of no edits, I'm already at 3 minutes. Nobody's going to watch this. Swipe, next, Shaffo, giant dome, rambling about Francis Fell, seen it a million times, swipe. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm going to really go here and go out on a limb and say I was going to begin doing videos dedicated to certain musical, either chord progressions, because I laid down a number of tracks last summer and sent them off to Jack, and just to get him vibing, because that's how we work. Sometimes I write a little snatch of melody, and if he digs it, he'll make it his own, and then it becomes uniquely Francis Fell. But a lot of times I'm just laying down like a canvas of sound and vibe so that Jack can do his thing over it. And there have been some where melodically I hummed him or played him, because singing is very new to me. I realize on the channel, you see me singing a lot, for better or for worse, but that's very new. Like I stayed away from it for decades because I just wanted to be a solid guitar player, and singing just seemed overwhelming. But thanks to my beautiful partner, she pushed me to sing more, and now I really enjoy it. Mostly for my own enjoyment. I'm not going to run out there and start fronting a band, I don't think. But, and why would you do that when you've got Francis Fell? Anyway, I forgot what I wanted to even play. Oh, right. Man, I talk about the music of the 60s and the 70s a lot. And that's the music that I grew up with. And that really stuck in there. And everybody who was making music in those decades, from the Beatles, Stones, Zeppelin, Who, Jimi Hendrix, Cream, Doors, And then in the 70s, you had a lot of those folks like Springsteen and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and Elton John, and just the list goes on, right? Those 2 decades were amazing. But I forget how amazing the 80s were. That's where a lot of bands that I really, really took to as a young man, and that I know Jack and I took inspiration from, were out there getting, getting their thing started and growing it, which doesn't really happen that way anymore, It's not like release an album, it sells really modestly, you open up for somebody, and a year later, second album is a little more. I watched REM grow from, really small theaters to the Garden in whatever it was, 7 or 8 years, and that was exciting. But this is the longest video I ever did, or done did. There's no way I'm using this. No way. Now I might do it as a dare. Nobody's going to watch. You start watching on Friday, and it's going to be Monday before you know. There goes your weekend. And no laugh track. You don't know when I'm being serious. But the Mission, and here in this country they were called the Mission UK. So back in the 80s, I thought their name was the Mission UK. I only just really realized or read on the fabulous internet that they were the Mission UK because there was another band in America named the Mission. But in England, they were always just the Mission. And that came after the Sisters of Mercy. Both of those bands and the records those bands made, I loved. And you might not hear any of that in Francis Felt per se, but maybe I will end up editing this to something usable. But I sent Jack a thing that has the this chord progression. It's 1-6-2-5, and I realize it's the chord changes to a song from the 80s that blew my mind and still does. And it's called Butterfly on a Wheel, Mission. He had that really spooky voice too. I guess that's the beginning of goth, really, or certainly they were one of the premier bands of that movement. I saw them at the Ritz. It was great. But yeah, those are the chords. Silver and gold, and it's growing cold. Autumn leaves lay as thick as thieves, shivers down your spine, chills you to the bone. It's the melody. I don't know. Still working on the vocals. Still ignoring somebody, I think. This is crazy. It's a 7-minute video. I'm never going to do anything with this. Bye.